Welcome to the Atoms Precision V2 tutorial series. This tutorial focuses on creating geometry objects such as lines, circles, and points on an object contour in Atoms Precision V2. To start, we'll import an image file and create a few circle objects. You'll find the commands required for creating geometry objects in the Create Object drop-down list. The commands are grouped by type in three categories: lines, circles, and points. In general, all geometry objects are created from the Orientation and Template tabs. In order to create geometry objects in Atoms Precision V2, we use the unique masking tool. You can simply paint over an object contour to let Atoms Precision V2 identify where to create the object. Additionally, new geometries can be often derived from existing geometry objects. So to create a circle as object, select the New Circle from Mask button from the Create Object drop-down list. The cursor will change to a painting tool with which you can mask the object contour. See how the tool size can be increased or decreased by changing the value or by dragging the left-hand mouse button while holding down the Control key. Now mask the desired object contour and select the Point on Circle Center button from Create Dependence panel. Let's create 3 more circles with a point on its center. Next, we create a circle using 2 points. Select the New Circle on 2 Points button from the Create Object drop-down list and choose Center Point and Radius Point from the Subjects panel. Next, we will create a circle using 3 points. Select the New Circle on 3 Points button from Create Object drop-down list, and this time choose 3 points from the Subjects panel. Before we proceed with the other objects, let's see how to edit and change properties of the objects we created. Press the Escape key to change to the default cursor. Now, use the cursor to drag and move the object text. To make the object text invisible, click on the Show Objects Text command in the Template Quick Launch toolbar. All created objects are listed in the Geometric Primitives panel at the right-hand side of the window. This is where you can change the visibility of objects. To hide all created objects, select Hide All from the Delete Object drop-down list. To show and hide a mask area, toggle the Show Hide Mask command from the taskbar. To delete an object, select an object and click the Delete Object command. Now to delete all objects, select the Delete All command from the Delete Object drop-down list. Object color and object name can also be changed by selecting an object and making changes in the General Properties panel. All objects created are listed under Object Groups in the current Object drop-down list. To modify the mask of an object, double-click on the object, making the Paint tool appear. Right-click to toggle to the Erase tool and modify the mask area to redefine it. Next, we're going to create line objects. The commands required to create line objects are listed in the Create Objects drop-down list. First, select a new line between points command and choose Point 1 and Point 2 from the Subjects panel. Furthermore, you can create one more line between Point 2 and Point 3. Here you can see how 2 line objects are created by using points. Next, we're going to create a line passing through a point and a perpendicular to a line. For this, select the New Line Passing Through a Point and Perpendicular to a Line button and select Point 3 and Line 2 from the Subjects panel. Now we're going to create a line passing through a point and a parallel to a line. Select the New Line Passing Through a Point and Parallel to a Line command, and this time choose Point 4 and Line 2 from the Subjects panel. To create a midline parallel to 2 lines, select the New Line Parallel to a Line command from the Create Object drop-down list, and select Line 1 and Line 3 in Subject panel. The following part will deal with how to create point objects. In Atoms Precision V2, there are 5 commands to create point objects. To create a point on the intersection of a line and a circle, select New Point of Intersection on Line and Circle button from the Create Object drop-down list. Select Line 1 and Circle on Mask 1 from the Subjects panel. There is an additional option to select the right or left intersection points in the Geometric Properties panel. To create a point along a line direction, select the Point at a Distant command and select line 1 and point 4 from the Subject panel. There are two additional options to select from in the Geometric Properties panel: Inline and Along line. Inline projects the selected point onto the line and offsets it by a distance. Along the line offsets the point towards the line. In this case, select the Inline option and enter 10 mm as offset distance. To create point objects at the intersection of a line and an object contour, select the Point on Line and Object Contour intersection button and select line 1 from the Subjects panel. There are 4 options to select from in the Geometric Properties panel: Point at left center, Point at left closest, Point at right closest, and Point at right extreme. For left closest and right closest options, a reference point is required, and Atom's Precision V2 will select a line endpoint as reference by default. If required, you can specify your own reference point. For this tutorial, I select the right extreme option, and my new point is being created on the object contour. Next, we're going to create the objects using masking. For that, we're going to import a DXF file and start by creating a new line with the masking tool. The line object is created based on the masking of the object contour. To create an accurate line object, we need to make sure the required object area is masked. Once again, you can use the Erase tool to remove any unwanted mask area. Select New Line for Mask from the Create Object drop-down list and mask the object contour. Now, we're going to create tangent lines, which we also call magnetic lines. Atom's Precision V2 has an advanced line-creating command called the New Line Masked and Guided. Using this command, we can create tangent lines on any contour profile, whether it's a defined geometric shape or irregular profile. To create a tangent line on a curved contour, select the New Line Masked and Guided command from the Create Object drop-down list and mask the contour area. Select line 1 as guide curve from the Subjects panel. There are 2 options to select from in the Geometric Properties panel tab: Strictly orthogonal to the guideline and roughly orthogonal to the guideline. Strictly orthogonal creates tangent lines normal to the selected guide curves, whereas roughly orthogonal creates tangent lines based on the masked contour, and the resulting line is roughly orthogonal to the selected guide curve. For our case in the tutorial, I choose strictly orthogonal to guideline. Next, we need to specify the ortho first or ortho last option. Ortho first is to create a line which is applied to the first linear part of the contour. Ortho last is to create a line which is applied to the last linear part of the contour. Once again, in our case, we select the ortho first option. We call this line a magnetic line, and it's very useful to create line objects on tapered and irregular contour profiles. In this tutorial, we learned how to create geometry objects in Atom's Precision V2. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and please view the other tutorial in this series to learn more about the features of Atom's Precision V2.